So did you guys hear that they got a deal? They got a Netflix deal. Are you serious? Are you serious? Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. Happy to have you here today with me. Well, we got to talk about this. We have seriously got to talk about this. Now, there were several news stories that came out about it, but I'm going to focus on the one that was written by Piers Morgan because, you know, he seems to sum up things that I'm already thinking. So let's look at what he says. So around the world in 80 private jets and other adventures, Piers Morgan presents a hilarious sneak preview of the woke TV the world can expect from Meghan and Harry's $150 million Netflix deal. You've got to hand it to Meghan and Harry. No, seriously. Pulling off $150 million of Hollywood production deal is an amazing achievement when your combined experience of producing anything in Hollywood could be written on the back of a postage stamp. He just got away with words. Their entire joint CV could read something like this. Meghan was a suitcase girl on Deal or No Deal and an actress on Suits, a TV show made in Canada. And Harry's shown some real thespian promise with his hostage video performance on camera during lockdown. Yes, and we have seen his hostage videos with Meghan by his side saying like, don't say too much, Harry. Just look to the camera and let me say everything. The world's most successful streaming giants hire them because they are royal, titled, and therefore, as we've seen since the announcement yesterday, can generate spectacular global media attention just by breaking wind in public. Oh, Piers. Okay, so Netflix is betting on that the media attention generating enough new subscribers to justify the massive price tag. Hence the comically over-the-top gushing statement from its co-CEO and chief content officer. We are incredibly proud that they have chosen Netflix as their creative home and are excited about telling stories with them that can help build resilience and increase understanding for audiences everywhere. Okay, so we know they haven't shown resilience in anything that they have done. So how are they going to create stories that show resilience? How are they going to be able to convey stories that they want to tell when they have not been the example of anything that they are trying to tell stories about? Meghan, in a sense, has been privileged by the way her father has treated her. She's been pretty much handed everything. She's given herself an opportunity to be put into a global stage with access to limitless amounts of money and the ability to draw media attention on her. So what challenges has she ever faced in her life that she can now go tell these stories? Anything that someone like me or perhaps like you have, it's because we have had to fight for it. No matter what happened in our life, we have had to get back up and keep fighting. So you tell me, how is Ms. MM ever had to deal with opposition? She's had to deal with people checking her for showing her privilege. She's been checked when she's been whining about no one's asked, if I'm okay. But we can see she's okay. She and Harry are whiny brats who have had everything handed to them. So they're not going to tell stories that any of us can relate to. The stories that they're going to tell are not going to really be from them. It's simply going to be their name. It's going to be their name, and it's going to be other creative people behind them who are going to be able to tell the real stories. So it's all a facade smokescreen. And we know more than likely we had someone very famous get them this deal. Someone has done a favor for them and went and reached out to the Netflix people. And this deal was made because of someone that Harry and Meghan knows. How could anyone possibly feel inspired by Meghan and Harry's authenticity, optimism, and leadership or resilience, given that they have spent the past 2 years whining, quitting, living off rich people, or preaching about equality from their position of supreme elitism. Piers, thank you. That's exactly right. We are not able to really feel any sympathy or struggle from these two. They have shown that they are at a level that most people cannot relate to. So why are we hearing about them getting a deal with Netflix? Their stories are inspiring. The couple's own statement was even more comically absurd. Our lives, it began both independent of each other and as a couple. This is me being like Meghan. Have allowed us to understand the power of the human spirit of courage, resilience, and the need for connection. Yeah, she needed connection. This is the same Meghan and Harry who we've gutlessly run away from royal duty and disconnected themselves from everyone and everything to become shameless, money-grabbing celebrities, right? They continued that they intend to shine a light on people and causes around the world by creating content that informs but also gives hope, and want Netflix to help them share impactful content that unlocks action. What does that even mean? Where is the action currently being locked, and what is it? So this is what I could see Meghan trying to do. I could see her trying to wait to connect with her family and put that on a television show, or to make it a reality or a documentary about reconnecting with my lost family, trying to get people to win over sympathy for her and how she's treated her family via her Netflix deal. Like that could be something she would try to do, because we know she hasn't connected with her family, and it's shameless that she's even wanting to create family content when she can't even herself know how to treat her own family despite her level of success. She's not connecting to people who are not like her. She's not connecting to people who have less than her. She is when she doesn't know them, and she can just be like, okay, bye, I got to go. We've seen her do that. So we can see through her unauthentic self. We know that she is not someone who really cares. And this is not us trying to bash her just because. We've got real legitimate reasons for saying the things that we say, because we have seen her actions. We get it. There are some of us that can really hone in on someone being fake and false. And if you want to see the definition of someone being fake and false, look at this girl and what she has gone through to know. You know how they say, pay attention to how someone treats their family before you get involved with them, because then you kind of know who they really are. Well, this is the perfect example. Meghan and how she has treated her family gives us everything that we need to know about who she is as a person, and that she is somebody who is only thinking about herself and wanting to be successful despite all of the people in her life, because they are an embarrassment to her. We don't want nothing to do with anything that's going to be coming from her, that's going to be content that she's going to be creating, because it's going to just bounce off. It ain't going to stick with nobody. No one's going to be able to really gain anything that's going to be wanting you to really feel a story of human connection, because she has no connection to anything that has to do with struggle and working hard and being a good person. So I know that this was given to her by someone that they have met that's high up, possibly Oprah or Elton John, or somebody has made this work for them, because it's laughable. It really is laughable. Then came the funniest bit. As new parents, they said making inspirational family programming is also important to us, and is powerful storytelling through a truthful and relatable lens. Oh my goodness. You know what? Relatable lens? You can't relate to nothing. I laughed out loud at this point. Two people who have heartlessly and ruthlessly deserted their own families are now going to be telling us how to be good families. Look, Netflix, have you been looking at what has been going on in their personal lives to really think that they are going to be the people that are going to tell the stories that we people want to hear? What have they inspired is me to now cast a crystal ball and look into the future to imagine the kind of hyper woke, self-serving productions that I look forward to seeing on Netflix from Megxit Productions. What kind of stories are they going to tell? Who can really relate to them being producers? We know that this is just something that they have been able to get because of their name and who they are. Basically, that's what it is. It's going to be a while before anything ever gets behind a production. I do know that people who are very good cinematographers, people who are good storytellers, they all want to get their stories on Netflix. So you've got the best of the best filmmakers coming to make films on Netflix. So anything that they do is going to be behind the real storytellers or the real people that can make stories. And their name is simply just going to be attached to draw attention. But I predict that their name is not going to bring in the box office draw that Netflix is hoping on. Because people can see through their behaviors and their actions and how they've treated people. No one wants to deal with this entitled couple who thinks that they know it all and that they can tell us, how we need to feel about family and hard work and, being a good person. If anything, they are the complete opposite of that. So I'm really disappointed that Netflix thought that they could seal some kind of a deal with this couple. I mean, let's see what they're going to do. And it better be a hit. It better be a hit, because guess what? If it's not, Netflix is going to drop them. Drop them. You watch. So let's see what they're going to do. Let's see who's going to attach themselves to this couple who thinks they are woke and they can tell us what good storytelling is. I mean, and what can I say about Harry? You shouldn't even be in the picture. You didn't grow up in a castle. You grew up with servants. I mean, your grandmother is the queen. Okay, who can relate to you? So you ain't got no business telling nobody stories. Does Harry really have the ability to come across as someone who can inspire good storytelling? I think not. I think not. So it's a joke. It's comical, and Harry just you just need to just be like in the background, invisible, like just shelling out money that you help people. But like your face, who you are, your experiences, your life shouldn't really be telling stories, because no one can relate to you. We can relate to the fact that you and your brother lost your mother. People have lost loved ones. But William lost a mother too. I could almost see if you had picked a wife who was more humble, who most people could relate to, and how you plucked this pure, wonderful girl out of obscurity, and you were able to give her a life that she otherwise would not have ever had, because of her circumstances or something. And she was humble, and she gave to the people, and she was more quiet, and she let you be the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be the man. It's almost like, had you picked the better spouse, you could have been elevated. But the fact that you picked this wife has de-elevated you and your value and your stance, because we just can't relate. And I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. And that's what this is. This is Harry and Meghan being put to the forefront because of who they are, the kind of people that they know on a personal level, where they're able to really talk to people like Netflix and get a deal like this. So it's the one thing to have a deal and to have all this publicity behind this story, but it's another to really pull it off. It's another to really pull it off. So let's just look and see what happens, what filmmakers are going to attach themselves to them, what stories or whose stories they're going to purchase to be able to tell. I can tell you this, that if Meghan and Harry have any say creatively behind any partnerships that they do with really good filmmakers, they're going to jack it up. They're going to put their spin on it, and it's just not going to connect. It's just not going to connect. So any collaboration with this couple who lacks the experience, someone who's had to really struggle and who's had to really put up with adversity, the adversity that they had to put up with was leaving something that was a platform that most people would say, okay, I'll do that. You mean to tell me you're going to put me in a palace and I got to go to functions and help charities? And look, I'll do it. But see, for them, they were like, it's too hard. I just can't do it. I can't go to these events all the time, and I just can't take that the queen will not let me do what I want to do. I can't talk out politically. My voice is not being heard. Do you understand me? Like, that is Meghan's struggle. This is somebody who has been the most reprehensible form of a woke duchess that I have ever seen, ever. The opportunity that she has blown away, the entitlement, the way she comes across as if she's had to endure anything. Like, just the whole superficiality of the things that are important to her. How she got in the royal family. How she's treated her family. Are you kidding me, Netflix? Are you kidding me? Loose Women, Jane Moore, she said, she made some good points too, that they have no experience. And she says that they're taking opportunities away from young talent. Absolutely. See, this is what we have to understand, that they have lied. They have finagled their way on false pretense. They have essentially just dissed the whole country of England, the people, the opportunities, the way they lied and got out of it and said, we want our privacy. Shut up. You didn't want no privacy. It wasn't racism. This is what you wanted all along, Meghan. You wanted to get back into the film industry. So that whole conversation you had in the engagement video, you and Harry saying you're going to be behind the queen working, you guys are liars. You have lied your way into this opportunity right now with Netflix. And now you want to talk about creating stories that people can, like inspirational stories. You ain't inspirational. You everything opposite from inspirational. You done things that people are looking at you with the side eye, like you for real, like you gonna try to tell stories now that are inspirational about being resilient and being a good person, feel good stories. Get out of here. We don't want to hear no stories from you. You guys are perpetrating. You are using your entitlement. You are trying to be woke. You are trying to be all these things. But guess what? We woke people, the ones that can really see the deal, we see you. As a matter of fact, there is another company that does streaming called Quibi. And this is the information about them. They've got some wonderful shows. So if you don't want to use your Netflix subscription anymore, give them a try. You just might like the content, because I know I saw a few things on there that I was interested in. I don't want to attach myself to anything that they have done because of their history, their background, who they are as people. Like, for me to hear someone's story that they are behind, I don't want to hear it, because I'm so upset with how Meghan has treated people, how her entitlement of being able to just do what she wants and to really diss people and to say she cares when we know that she doesn't, only because of we've seen her actions. This is not us just saying things. Well, I don't like her. Look at her. She thinks she cute. I don't like her. That ain't it. We didn't see how she's behaved. And that is why we know that we don't want nothing to do with anything that she is behind. Because I've always despised people that behaved like this. They one way where they want you to think that they are a good woke person, and I just really care, and isn't that just lovely? But behind the scenes, they be like, they get on my nerves. I ain't got time for that. What you gonna do for me? That kind of person I don't like. Anything that we get that's worth having, you fight for, you struggle, you get punched down, and then you get back up. And every time you get back up, you are bruised. And those bruises help you to be better and better and better. And it makes you shield, it makes you shred the superficiality of who you are. And the real person tends to shine through from those struggles. And she ain't a real person because she hasn't had these struggles. She's had everything given to her. Everything. So now she's going to say, I'm going to talk to people about real struggle and sacrifice and resilience when she ain't had none? Are you kidding me? So I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no time for her stories. I ain't got any time or anything that she got to say. Her struggle ain't no struggle that I can relate to. I'm going to relate to people who have really had to do the hard work to get to where they are. I want to see the stories of people who have had to fight to get, you know, Rocky, the movie Rocky. When you watch Rocky, you see what he had to go through. You see, you know, Adrian, he was like, at the end where he finally got what he got because of the hard work and the running, and he's on the top of the stairs, all that. We can relate to people who have had to fight for something. What has she had to fight for but smile in front of a camera and say, I help people out. Hey, you want some clothes? I designed it. I ain't got time for you, and I ain't got time for no stories you gonna tell, because I want to help people that have had real struggle, and I want to hear their stories. I don't want to hear from people who have been handed everything their whole life. They've never had to break a sweat for any hard work, and any hard work that they've had to do, they said that that's just too hard. I don't like that, so give me something else to do. I ain't got time for you. I ain't got time for your story, so get out of my face. I don't want to hear from you. And Netflix, you better rethink what you're going to be doing with them. For real, okay? So that's all I gotta say, you guys, because my blood pressure, my blood pressure is getting up high. I don't want that to happen, and my hand still ain't healed. I got my brace back on again. I may have to have surgery. So y'all stop making me upset. I ain't got time to deal with this nonsense, okay? For real. All right. Be strong. Be brave. I love you guys. Peace and love.